All right, welcome everybody to season 6, episode 16, the Sweet 16 episode. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And this one's a doozy. Before we get started, I know Ian, you're at in the military base. I know Chris, you're drinking, but I'm gonna drink one for our homie.
I'm working on my intelligence level. I got my smart water. I don't feel a difference. Still feel pretty dumb.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. All right. So
Thank you.
Before we get any further, new patrons. We do have Lazarus. He is our newest patron. So thank you. Thank you for patronage.
Yay. Appreciate you.
Let's see.
It would be perfect if he every month leaves and then comes back.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna be Lazarus, you gotta.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's back. He's gone. He's back.
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah. So also we did hit 400 Twitter followers. So we're on our way to 25 or 2,500. So that's that'll be a milestone number, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Shout out to all our twats out there. Thank you.
All of our tweeters.
Is that not how you say it?
Twatters.
Word is.
Sure.
Sorry, I don't twit.
But speaking of Twitter, make an announcement. I've already said this once on a separate video, but not actually on our podcast. Every single year, the Will Reads, meaning myself and a whole bunch of other content creators, host the Twitter of Time Awards. It is a Oscar-esque award show. We give out the Wheelies, which is a trophy that we have. It's pretty, and we're not happy to announce the date for that. That's going to be November 5th. So remember the 5th of November, the Twitter of Time Awards. I have to get a Guy Fawkes mask. We'll be wearing that. If you're on Twitter, I've already started doing calls for nominations for the different categories. There's going to be at least 11 categories this year. I've put out calls for 4 of them so far. I will keep on doing that when I have time to. The problem is you guys have been giving so many nominations. It's hard to keep up, so I got to stagger it. So thank you, everyone out there that's on the Twitter and it is following along and looking for those and nominating people. I'll continue in the next few weeks. We'll probably close out nominations in about 2 weeks or so, about a week and a half from now. Giveaways. Next month, we're going to be doing more giveaways for October. I'm going to do 3 giveaways. We'll do a hardcover copy book of the Wheel of Time book of your choice. We'll do a coffee mug and a frosty mug. Just do some mugs. And they'll be on different social medias. So keep checking out all those to win stuff.
You're in a mugging mood.
I'm in a muggy mood. Yeah.
Watch out, you might get mugged.
And if my internet gets a little wonky tonight, guys, I am sorry in advance. I'm looking at the live stream. It has like the little bars. It keeps going up and down. Full strength, one bar. So I don't know what's going on. I'm close to my router. I need to call my internet provider and yell at them, but whatever.
Is your dryer running?
Yeah, it might be, but that's on the other side of the house.
If you have a large appliance running, if you have grounding issues, you can have variable voltage where your router's plugged in, and routers are pretty sensitive to that.
Yeah, our router's really close to the dryer, but then we have a repeater that's closer to this because I'm far away from the router, so it's whatever. However that works.
Yeah. You can spend thousands of dollars and either ground your house properly or get a harmonic filter, which will filter out the breaks in the electricity flowing through your house, breaks in the waves because of the large appliances. Anyways, sorry.
Speaking of appliances, get right into personal life. Yeah, get right into personal life and talk about the maybe this is going to turn to a low slander account. But we'll figure this out. So my refrigerator, we finally decided to buy a new refrigerator because it wasn't like it was a big repair. The ice maker, the door for the ice maker broke, and I had to take apart the whole thing, put it back together, and then something else broke, and I was like, you know what? If replacing pieces every single week, it's time. Let's just get a new one. Yeah, because it's just a waste of my time now if it's just gonna keep on breaking. So It was an old refrigerator. So we went to Lowe's on Labor Day sale. So that was 2 weeks ago to buy a refrigerator. And we picked one out we liked and ordered it because they didn't have it in stock, of course, because they never do. They delivered it on Friday. I was not home because I was at work, and my wife sent it back immediately because of how dented it was. So because we're paying for a new refrigerator, don't want it to be covered in dents, like
unless it's half off. I mean,
unless you're gonna
negotiate
there. But I'm not paying full price for like a beat up refrigerator. So
they're not cheap full price these days.
So we sent it back, and they sent another one the next day, and they hauled away our refrigerator. Well, after a day of having the new one there, my wife decided that she didn't decide. We got stainless steel because it matches the rest of our appliances, but it was a different shade of stainless steel than the rest, and it definitely was an eyesore. So we end up sending it back again, but they've already hauled away a refrigerator at this point. And we order another refrigerator right there on the spot, and they're like, "Oh, well, that one's on back order. It'll be 2 weeks before you get that refrigerator."
Oh,
I was like, "Okay, well, good thing we have an extra refrigerator in the garage, so it's a big one, so we're able to put everything. We actually have
one of those beer fridge.
I know, it is. So
it
was, and then we have a chest freezer, like a big chest freezer outside too in the garage. So we're able to fit everything in there. It's just kind of a pain because you have to go out to the garage to get stuff now. And it was supposed to be delivered last Friday, and then I get an email saying, "Oh, it's been pushed back to Saturday." I was like, "Okay, not a big deal." This is pushed back to Monday. I was like, "Okay," and then Sunday comes around, and I get an email saying, "Your order's been changed." I was like, "Okay," and I pull it up. And it's like, "Yeah, we'll be delivered on Monday." I was like, "Okay, I already knew that." And then like literally half an hour later, I got an email saying, "Your order's been canceled. Here's your full refund." And I was like, what? Like,
they do that. Even here at the university, they do that.
I'm like, so I called up customer service, and this made it even worse. Is like, I asked for appliances, like, "Oh, yeah, we don't handle online orders. Let me put you back to customer service." I got transferred back and forth for literally an hour until I just gave up and hung up on them. And I just haven't had time to call them back again now. But it's like, I don't want to. Yeah, it's. I'm like, we don't have a
Lowe's, right?
So what you're saying is they stole your fridge.
Yeah, they took
the net result is they stole your fridge.
The net result is they stole our fridge.
All right, so
I'm telling you,
Lowe's is literally 15 minutes down the road from you.
They'd be bringing me a fridge.
I would be at Lowe's at 8:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't leave.
Well, I mean, I would if it was the fact that like on Sunday night, also my son got a fever, and so we had to do all that, and then
were they multiplying?
They're multiplying, yeah. And then
you lose control.
And then last night, my youngest son, the baby, was just blood curly screaming until 3:00 in the morning. For I don't know why.
Poor baby.
So it's been a rough few days. When I get time, I'm definitely going to be driving to Lowe's, or maybe I'm not even gonna call at this point. I'm just gonna.
It's a good excuse to get away.
Be like, guys, yeah. And Sunday, I was at the beach trying to enjoy myself, and I got these emails, and I'm like, super frustrated now at the beach, like in grumpy pants mode. Like, okay, this is ridiculous. But on the lighter side, next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I'm going to a bachelor party, so I'm excited about that. So I get to forget about all my stars and fridge problems and go drink myself half to death and go to a concert, which is going to be amazing. So
when you think about it in the big picture, like, I mean, we all take turns complaining about stuff that happens in our lives, but they're all first world problems.
Correct.
It's super frustrating, not to, take away from what you're saying, but at the same time,
not available to me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm excited because in 2 weeks I'll be sitting on the beach listening to Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds, Toad the Wet Rocket, OAR,
Alanis Morissette.
Alanis Morissette, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. Gosh, I was
Lumineers,
thinking about it,
yeah.
And are you still going to make the wedding?
Oh yeah, I'm coming back for that. Yeah, I'm not gonna go to the I'm not gonna stay for the Sunday part of the festival.
That's fantastic. Yeah, super jealous.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Sounds like it.
That's it for my personal life. I'm just waiting for a fridge.
Yeah. So I won't get too far into my drama. I'll just say that the lawyer at Jag here that I've been talking to, she's fantastic. And then I've been bored, so I just keep giving her stuff where folks within the chain of command here are going off script and not following policy and not following rules and everything. And she's like, "What do you want me to do with this?" I was like, "Well, eventually, if we go the route of court martial, or if they decide not to, there's be some negotiations between you and them beforehand." And she's like, oh, "Okay." And then she got in touch with the attorney that's representing my chain of command right here. And apparently she showed him a few of the things, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just go tell them they need to drop this." I was like, "Okay, that's good news." So I'm still stuck here for a little bit. But anyways, playing the game is not fun, but if I have to, I guess I'm okay at it. So that's good to know. But on a positive note, I've told some of y'all already, started working out again. My back's feeling better. Being very cautious about it, because I know when you get these shots, it's not like it fixes all of my smashed vertebrae in my lower back. It just kind of reduces the swelling, but I'm still at risk of re-aggravating. So I'm going easy with it. I started running at the beginning of September. My first 1 mile I did in 10.5 minutes and almost died. And then last week I ran a very casual 8-minute mile, and then doing some interval training where quarter mile at 90%, and then, walk a lap and then do another quarter mile, whatever. And I'm holding those at in a 6:30 minute mile pace. And then I did 2 miles for the first time today, which I intentionally did super slow because that's the longest I've ran in forever. So I did that in 20 minutes.
That's
Which
pretty awesome.
I was excited. Yeah. Well, I was excited to be able to run for 20 minutes without falling over. It's been a while.
So
and
now we're on Run Talk.
Yeah, sorry. But so let me dabble on this, because I know we probably have listeners that have had either injuries or have had periods of chronic pain, or maybe their whole life. I don't know, but you have an injury like that, and I've said before, it's the first time I've had something that has lasted more than a couple of weeks. You get a little PTSD from it. There's some things that even with physical therapy, they're like, "No, you're fine. Go ahead and do a pull up." And I'm like legit panicky going to do it, because that was one of those things that triggered the most pain when it was at its worst. So I think I'm being overly cautious in my workout schedule now, but I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's a good thing. I just don't want to feel that again.
There's nothing wrong with regression in order to progress.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had my days where I've cut the workouts very short when I could have done more, but I'm like, nope. My lower back just feels funny. I'm just not even gonna do anything else today.
Yeah, there are days where I sit too long and I feel it in my back. I'm like, all right, well, I know what I'm not doing in the gym, or I know I'm not fucking messing with later. It's like, there's nothing wrong with taking it slow and building yourself back to the beast that you were.
Yeah, I joined
a gym. It's gonna take a while though.
I joined a gym to work out during my lunch breaks, and literally since I've joined, it's been so slammed at work that literally I just look at the clock and I'm like, "Oh, it's time to go home." Crap.
Oh yeah.
Didn't take lunch.
It's hard to carve that time out.
It is, especially with kids. It's tough. Yeah.
At least now, because I do absolutely nothing but watch people here and wait for them to fuck up and then send an email.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time on my hands. So no excuses for me right now.
Yeah. Anyways, Chris, how about you? What's going on in your world?
32 days come tomorrow till the wedding.
To the wedding?
Woo! Till the dance party. Woo!
Till the dance party, for real.
I'm going to be wearing my GoPro, and we're going to be live from Chris's wedding.
That'll work. Actually, I need somebody to go live on Facebook. That'd be awesome.
I'll do live Facebook. I'll go live YouTube. Screw it. I'll just.
Hey, why not?
We're going to bring all of our
right here. The Will Reads live at Chris's wedding.
That'll be dope.
You'll get to see me do my pizza maker. I've been practicing that.
Thinking that might be a thing. We'll have to discuss this more. But we are, like I said last time, all final contracts have been signed and down payments have been made and people are ready to go. And I've got 24 people I'm waiting to RSVP, which I think half of them are going to come, which is great because we're right on target for the number we wanted. So everything is really...
You're not downing the alcohol level, right? By if people show up, right? It's just more alcohol. Awesome.
It's more, amazing. Yeah. It's all about consumption.
All right.
That's all by consumption. Okay, cool.
It is
Sorry.
my consumption.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the
I'll
bill.
apologize ahead of time. Alan and I are literally just gonna hang out at the corner of the dance floor that's closest to a bar. That's gonna be our little jive spot.
It is like all night too, like from 5 o'clock until 10. It is open bar.
I'll take 2 martinis here and then keep on coming until one of us passes out. It's really gonna pull Wall Street.
So that's all coming together. By the time this comes out, I will have spent a weekend with my kitten alone. Kitten comes home Saturday morning, so
Awesome.
Very
things
exciting.
really are coming together quite well. We're super excited. Work is moving a little slow right now, which I'm grateful for because I've had other things in life that I've been focusing on, which hopefully I'll be at liberty to talk about later in the next coming month and a half or so. And other than that, just chilling, working out, enjoying life.
Yeah,
Cool.
Awesome. Make sure you post pictures of those the kitty cat.
Yes, it may be 2, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, kitty cats, but I didn't know what the decision
You're right.
was.
The decision has yet to be made. The breeder's going to make that decision on Friday for me. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. I hope you get them both. That'd be
Me
great.
too.
That way they got a buddy.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it.
Yes, there will be kitten pictures on Discord. Definitely. That will happen.
Absolutely.
Yes, they'll be there because that'll be my entire Saturday is cats. Kittens.
There will be a lot of them. Yeah.
All right, let's jump right into these chapters. Chapter 31. Red wax. Not quite as good as red wine, but I'll take it.
This chapter, though, I like these chapters better than I like the last chapters.
Yeah.
They were quick, but man, the setup is happening.
Yeah.
Everything by the end of all these chapters, we're on a precipice, just waiting for that final nudge, and then it's gonna be chaos.
Yes.
I really think it's coming for real. Like, I don't doubt that at all anymore.
That's what she said.
we are definitely getting
not fast
there.
enough with the branding.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. We're in even Valda's point of view. Good old Valda, our favorite white cloak. Yay, white cloaks. And he's returning back to Amadicia, to the Fortress of Light.
He's really grumpy.
He is, and he's not happy about things because he's like, there's no way that the rumors are true that Morghese is here. Like, why would they keep a witch here in the Fortress of Light? There's no way. She's a witch. They wouldn't keep her here. They said in Andor she's dead. She's probably dead. He sees Dane Bornhold, and he's like, hey, Danny boy, this Morghese thing's like, yeah,
the witch is in the Tower of Light.
Some of my favorite songs.
And he's like, yeah, Morghese is with Niall right now, and she's like, what? She's here. And he gets like kind of pissy about it. He's not happy at all about all this. But then he starts thinking about, like, if I was in charge, Niall's getting soft, getting soft in his old age. If I was in charge, I would make
dangerous words. Everybody move left. Everybody look right. Everywhere you look, killing witches.
Oh,
okay.
free to do it all my way.
We gonna hear 'em scream and pray.
So what do you think about Mr. What do you guys think about Mr. Grumpy Pants Valda?
We're trying
like
to tell
him.
you through song. We're telling you. This is what we think.
He's serious. Seriously, like, I think he's exactly what the White Cloaks need. I think he's a breath of fresh air. I think he's gonna restore what it means to be a White Cloak. I think he's gonna die real soon.
You kind of hope.
I do.
Remember we had that Pedro Nile chapter, and we were both like, "Oh shit!" Like, maybe we underestimated these White Cloaks. Like, this guy is savvy, and like, I got really invested in. Rand really needs to watch out for the White Cloaks. But now, like everything else, Jordan, digs in a little bit deeper, you get to that next layer of the onion, and you're like, all right, even in the White Cloak world, there's the potential for this drama and chaos and like a pull for power and everything. So
I mean, they're men.
right. Well, and human, because we
Yes.
see it in every group of people we get introduced to. We're like, oh my gosh, they're so badass. And then you dig into it a little more and you're like, well, they got problems too. And
Not problems,
right. Well, technically, a witch is the
Yeah, a
problem
witch is
here.
one,
according-
so
99
can't even
problems
say
and a
that.
witch is one. But, yeah, curious to see how this goes, because this guy doesn't seem like one that is just going to lie down and take it. He's kind of like crazy in his beliefs. So it doesn't matter who Pedro Nile is. Once he believes that Pedro Nile isn't following the way, I don't think he'd have any issues taking him out. You know?
And I want to know why this rumor of her being there hasn't spread further and faster. Like we have so many people that think she's dead, and then we have so many people that say, no, she's chilling in the tower. She's hanging out there with the White Cloaks. Like, that's vital information that would be good for some other people, like her sons, to know, or her daughter. I mean, but they kind of know, but they don't accept.
Well, his one son
so.
should know, right?
Yeah,
because he's a White Cloak.
You would think of all.
Maybe they're trying to also keep it hush hush. I don't know. It makes sense that people outside of the White Cloak community don't really know. I feel like this is a group that tries to keep their business, and they're not really occupying the same territory as like what Rand is trying to influence in the Aes Sedai, the area that they influence. So it kind of makes sense that it's not quite crossing those boundaries. But within the White Cloak community, you would think, I mean, soldiers talk. That's all we do. The rumor mill is ridiculous. Like if there's a hint of something, I'm telling you, everybody knows within a day.
Yeah.
Around the world. So
yeah. What do you think about the cracks within the organization of the White Cloaks? I mean, obviously there are factions and power struggles going on here. I mean, obviously in any organization like this is going to be that, but thinking like a military, you think it'd be a little bit more of a iron grip on rank and file. Whereas here it seems like even when he starts talking to the questioners, talks to Asawana, and there's definitely like, Niall might need to go. He's going to destroy the children, and there's definitely some mutiny afoot.
Well, I mean, even when your higher ranking people like Bornhall are tipping in the bottle, it means that they're a little bit too relaxed, in my opinion. I think as people get relaxed, the ambitious people see opportunity, and those that are not as ambitious see opportunity too, just the other way, to do absolutely nothing. And so that's kind of where we are. They're just kind of over it. So, all right, we had a cause, and now we really don't know where we're going with this. We're not really in war, but we're kind of in war. There's too much in limbo. And when that happens, people are looking for a better leader, a greater person to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's gonna be a little shady about it. He reminds me of, if you've been going to church long enough, it's either happened at your church or you've heard stories at other churches. The choir director that decides they could do a better job preaching than the preacher. And they start making their alliances and talking smack about the preacher, to influential people in the congregation, till eventually they get their way. But inevitably what happens is, the congregation is like half the size 2 years later because everything falls apart. But that's the vibe I'm getting here.
And Valdo points out that they've let Rand get too strong now. Like he said, if it was up to me, I would have immediately started marching. We would have gathered people on the way. We'd have crushed his so that the stone would tear. Like it didn't need to get this far. Now he has two nations, Kyron and Andor, that he controls. Like we've kind of missed our chance to.
Yeah, but at Tyr he had Kalendor. He would have died. They would have died. But
their thought process was he's a false dragon. That none of it was real anyway. So they would.
But since we're readers and we know what's going on,
I'm not saying
this guy's
they would
a moron.
Right. I'm not saying he would have won at all. I'm just saying that in his logic, they should have done that. But which is logically sound if you believe it's a false dragon.
Right. If I was forced to support the White Cloaks, from what I know right now, what Pedro Nile has been doing and what he's still doing, he is a fantastic leader. He is their best bet. If he's failing as a leader, then he's not doing a good job explaining the why he's doing things to some of his counterparts. But I also recognize that maybe he can't because it's going to conflict with some of their extreme ideology. And even though he's making good decisions, it's good strategy for them. People would turn on him if he was completely honest about what he's doing because it's not the white cloak way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyways, he's their best bet.
Yeah.
Which means he's probably going to die or lose power or something like that sometime soon.
Anything from all this before we switch to Patron's point of view? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, because it kind of segues right in there. Because the next scene is Patron's watching all this from his window up above. He can't hear anything, but just sees an angry Valdo stalk away, and he's getting reports from Balwar about
Is this the morning report?
Yeah, this is what the red wax seal was still intact. And he
I could sing Lion King this entire episode.
As he points out, more nonsense about leashed Aes Sedai and monsters coming from the west. And he thinks it's all just BS. That nothing new there.
I mean, so are the Shan-Chen really doing their thing?
Are they coming back?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the question, right?
I don't know. What do you guys?
I mean,
think?
if we're talking about leashed Aes Sedai, that's the only group we really know with leashed women that channel. So I believe it.
Yeah.
You know where the White Cloaks are failing? If you're going to be this powerful of a group and you want to influence the whole world, you can't be so isolated and narrow-minded. You got to have some sort of human intel like out there gathering information. So like all of this stuff that they talk about, from the reader perspective, you hear them talking about how well, it's not really the Drag Reborn. He ain't really channeling, the Aes Sedai are doing it. And we're like, stupid, you don't know. And they kind of scoff about like these rumors of what happened at where was the place where Rand was up in the sky doing battle?
Faldara.
Not Faldara.
No, not Faldara. Faldara's in north.
The penis
Falmouth.
Falmouth. Yeah.
Falmouth. Yeah.
So, and like they hear rumors about that, and they're like, well, that can't be real. It's made up. Blah blah blah. And they hear about these leashed women, and they seem to know so little about the world around them. I would think if you want to be that powerful organization, like you would have good human intel out there.
Or maybe one of these factions is keeping all the information to themselves.
Yeah. Well, they said they sent patrols out west and they all disappeared. They're not coming back. So
human is not patrols. I'm talking undercover. I'm talking blend in. Don't walk around going, who I am? I'm a white cloak. Walk in the light or I'll stab you in the eye. Like that's not how you get good information.
Yeah. But that's exactly what Niall's next order was, is to send spies, and Balwar.
Should we get a courier to Tanchico and Balwar, who just like he's seen it all, he's done it all, he knows it all. He's like, typically 10 days, nowadays 20, maybe 40.
Yeah,
like
but
shit's going down.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't really care about him coming back. I just want to be able to get there. Which was kind of cold.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess to my point is, if you're this large of an organization and this world that we're living in is not that big, you should already have contacts planted everywhere. This should be easy.
You mean like the Aes Sedai?
Yes, but where the Aes Sedai F up is they all do it on an individual basis, so they don't share information with each other very well. So like kind of like that, but
so it's kind of like
what?
So it's kind of like
so
it's not kind of, it's exactly like the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA, how they all have their own networks and they don't share anything with each other at all. And in fact, they show up to the same cases sometimes, and they literally go like, "Wait, who's in charge? Are you in charge? Am I in charge? Like, wait, what do you know? What do you know?" Like,
and both of them are like, "Well, it's us. We've been running this case for 10 years," and they're like, "Wait, us too." How are we just now crossing paths?
The worst part, I mean, I knew someone that worked for DEA and was undercover for a long time, doing drug stuff, and they said, and the cartel and trying to infiltrate cartels, like big time DEA type stuff. And so the worst part is like one time they actually built up this entire case, and they went to go try to take this guy down, and ended up being like
He
an
was an
undercover
agent.
FBI
Oh,
agent,
I knew it.
and they uncovered an entire like FBI cell. I was like, yeah, I've been working this case for years. They're like, well, we thought you were the case. Like, no, like we're trying to get, like.
I think it'd be great if there's actually not a drug problem in America. It's just all these 3-letter agencies pretending to be dealers and users.
And they're all gathering information on each other. Like,
yeah.
and
Like you go back to, all right,
Well,
who was the
yeah,
first to
some-
start bringing in fentanyl? Like, well, that was actually the ATF. How the fuck did they get involved in this?
we talk too much about these 3-letter organizations. They're going to shut down the podcast right now. So let's
Right.
move on.
Let's talk about the NFL. Maybe they'll go there.
NFL, yeah.
NFL. Oh, don't get me started on that. I had Kirk Cousins and Derrick Henry on my fantasy team, and I only needed one of them to show up and perform. I was close to winning, and both of them bombed. It was. Why would you choose Cousins on Monday Night Football? I should have known better.
I don't know.
My
I
bad.
don't know. So, Morgaze, we switched to her point of view, and this is a lot. And her escape. PAITR's come up with an awesome plan.
Oh yes,
Team
phenomenal
PAITR.
plan. We are all Team PAITR here on this podcast. We want you to know this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
greatest.
Team PAITR. And PAITR had this awesome plan that they were going to escape, and they were.
I'm sorry. We'll get there eventually. I should not be laughing this much at his demise, but
Can we just cut the podcast off and like we should have put together like a memorial like montage of pictures and
montage.
stuff.
of people
of silence.
wearing PAITR hat
Yeah.
beanies.
A slow-mo of getting punched in the nose.
I would say do a moment of silence, but the thing is, when I go to edit it, I hit this button called truncate silence, so I'll just cut all the silence out anyway.
Well, that's kind of appropriate for a PAITR memorial.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have one of the PAITR beanies, take a picture and send it in
Yeah.
This is-
of yourself wearing it.
We actually made a special one for Delusions of Grendel when she had a kid. So she has a little baby one with little ears on it.
Oh,
Team
that's
PAITR
awesome.
beanie.
Cute.
Yeah. So
Little
PAITR. Little baby with PAITR gear.
So PAITR was super excited because Queen Morgaze had finally decided that she was going to go with him as long as he made sure that everybody else is going to be able to escape with him.
Mhm.
And today is the big day that they're going to be smuggled out of the Fortress of the Light
Yep.
I'm helping.
and their laundry.
And
how'd you even
Talonfor doesn't
plan?
trust. Yeah, Talonfor doesn't trust any of it. He's like, I don't think this
Of
PAITR
course
guy.
not.
Is yeah.
Because he's intelligent. Any intelligent creature would look at that and go, really? We're going to sneak out with the dirty dishes?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
remember,
not where we go.
he's charged himself with the protection of his queen, Morgaze. And considering everything that's happened to them and everything happening in this world, you shouldn't trust anybody. Only when you
Yeah,
absolutely have to get something done. So I vibe with him. Don't trust anybody. Yes, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
PAITR, that shifty motherfucker.
But hey, they're getting out. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters
you know.
until there's a knock on the door and Basil Gill comes in and says, "Hey, the White Cooks are here." And he's like, "Shit, Nayo wants me right now. I'm trying to get out of here, and looks like I'm gonna be stalled." And what do they know? Do they know what's going on? And the questioner leads them out and leads them right past the gallows. And she looks up, and there's everyone.
Well, but I mean, he was just taking her the quickest way to get to the Lord Captain Commander.
Now this was
She
on
said
purpose.
that. This
No,
is on
that
purpose.
was what was really happening. And then just so happens that
Okay.
at that very moment,
I didn't know you were going full sarcasm tonight. This is the second time, and you're laying it on so thick. I was like, damn, Chris, we're reading different books, buddy.
I love the setup here. Like as soon
Yeah.
as he came to get her, knowing kind of what I already knew because somebody slipped up and said something at some point during one of our podcasts, I was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, something crazy is about to happen, and here it is.
Yep.
Now,
How quick do you think she slipped into depression? Do you think she was slipped into it at all? I mean, here's a
no,
person who was kind of used to stuff happening around her. So
she don't have time for that. She's in survival mode, fight or flight.
Yeah.
That
I
if
agree
it
with that.
hits, it'll be much later. It's going to be in
Yeah.
downtime. So plus, I mean, with her experience, as a queen, she's gone through some shit. So she'll
She
keep
is
it together
definitely
as
the
long as she needs to.
lioness of Andor. I'll give it to her because she was very,
Yep.
very in control in that moment.
Yeah. Although, can we talk about the description of what happened when they were hung? So one, you have the ones that drop and just immediately go because it breaks the neck, and then you
Right.
have the lines that squirm and wiggle
Well,
because
Peter's
it doesn't break their neck.
He's a kid.
Well, yes, but also, do you see the people hanging, or they drop behind a covered platform area?
That's a good question. You see
They-
the rope.
well,
They
this
say
one-
they see the rope twitching. That's all.
Right, but they don't see the person. So this is I'm all the way back to Tom getting taken out by that fade. I don't think he's dead. I don't think this shifty, slimy little booger is dead.
Really? Now
I
that's
keep-
an interesting perspective.
Either he slipped the rope or somebody helped him or something, but I don't think he's dead. Well, so also, if Pedro Nile was the one who ordered the hangings or at least knew about them, the little bit I know about him, I don't see him being the one to hang a kid.
Well, and Pedro
he-
Nile
but he-
didn't do it. We learned that.
But
This
he would
is
have
the
to know.
questioner's
He would have
action.
to know that it was happening. There's no way here.
No, this happens all the time. They hang people
Here's
all the
it.
time.
When Mergaze is back against the wall, she backs through the wall. She's
Huh.
Because
such a
baby got
cool-
back.
here.
Baby got back. Jeez. Now my mental picture of Mergaze has changed. She is big booty
She got a
Mergaze.
badonkadonk.
Like a shelf. You can set a
Curvaceous.
tray on there and have a snack, and
My
she'll
favorite.
hold your drinks. Yeah, but the fact that we don't actually see him die.
If he comes back, then I definitely owe you a Chick-fil-A sandwich because I am of the mindset that he is gone this time.
But
I know
still
Pater's
feel
not a
like-
kid. In my mind, he's a kid. All right, Dana.
I know.
He's still
Yeah,
a
I know
youngin'.
40-year-olds that are Weasley like Pater, and they are definitely kids. They're yeah.
Yeah,
How old is Pater at this point?
that doesn't say.
That's true. Not a kid.
I mean,
I would guess
In
he's
my-
in his
why in my
20s
mind's eye
and
is he
all
a kid?
I think he's in his
Well,
20s.
he's like a teenager in my 20s. He's a 20-year-old in my mind. We could be completely wrong, but
No,
it
that's
makes
true,
for
but
a more
I'm-
interesting story when you have this kid trying to prove
Let's see if the
trying to
Canadian says
prove
it, yeah, Pater.
himself, and
Right.
then he dies a quick short
Right.
death.
Keep
No, he
talking
was
about.
switching. He was getting out of the ropes. I think he slipped
Yes,
the
there you
noose.
go. Teenage emo dark friend phase. Like that was exactly what
He's got the.
he just
hair
wanted
comb
the
over.
t-shirt. He just wanted the t-shirt.
Right.
It just says he's a young man. Yeah, Pater, a young man, a dark friend from Market Shear and Bandor.
So we'll say early 20s, late
Yeah,
teens.
let's go with that. Just a little bit older than Rand,
Ah.
because Rand felt like he
Yeah.
wasn't too much older than him.
If it's emo Pater, that T-shirt, he might not even gone to the Dark Friend like event himself to get the T-shirt. His grandfather or father might have been a Dark Friend, and he just
Uncle.
dug that out of his or
His
uncle, and
uncles.
then
yeah,
and then dug the T-shirt out of the closet and was like, "I'm gonna wear this because it's cool."
yeah,
And that's how he got tagged.
yeah. His
no
his
clue
uncle's
he was
really
emo.
was really into like Megadeth and like went to all the concerts
Right.
and he just like this shirt looks awesome. I'm gonna wear it. to school."
AC/DC, it's
Yeah.
electric.
There you go.
This face
Yeah.
paint for Kiss looks really cool.
I like makeup.
I love her reaction. She's like, so many at once. Like she
Giggity.
really did play that really well.
Yeah, she kept her cool.
He was like,
I mean-
every day. Perhaps in Andor you let him off easy, not us.
Nope.
See how I read
Nope.
that?
Yep.
Yeah. And so she finally gets to Niall. And well, more interesting during the whole execution, the questioners definitely were paying attention to Morgay, see her reaction to it, and she keeps her cool throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. And
Oh
she's just
yeah,
like-
they really thought she wasn't even like didn't have any sort of feeling towards it.
just like
You
okay.
know, she's and they're just really testing her to see whether or not they were involved with her. Like that's really shitty that they
Right.
did that.
And one like flash forward, there's mention of where they talked to everybody, questioned everybody, and they couldn't find a connection to her.
Yeah.
So
PAITR
hey,
actually was the man in this one. Like he did
PAITR
not
stayed
give.
loyal.
Yeah, like that's crazy to me.
Didn't
He
give
went
her
from
up.
the snot nose like booger box broken to I'm a man. I'm not
So
gonna speak.
turns out Morgaze got rickrolled by PAITR. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
He got let down in the most.
He did.
blatant
No,
way.
he got let
Oh,
down.
oh.
She didn't. He got let down
Oh, so
violently.
horrible. Anyway, but going.
I just want to
kinda
see PAITR
backwards.
up on the gallows looking over going, first time.
First time.
First time.
You know, I got punched in the nose once. This will probably be just like that.
Yeah. Be fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I mean, if he is indeed coming back, then I guess you can say it's kind of like that. You just quick damage and keep it moving.
He could be a Forsaken in disguise.
Yeah.
I don't think so. PAITR's done for. I'll put a spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A on that.
Okay.
All right.
All
I
right.
say we get him by the end of the next book.
Okay.
And I'll spice
PAITR isn't
sandwich
steak
back.
worthy.
No. I'm not getting you extra pickles either.
You can just not even deluxe. You're just getting the
Right.
regular spicy chicken sandwich. You're not getting
Look, the extra
lettuce.
pickles are free, and I'm still not getting them for you because PAITR ain't worth it.
And buy your own damn drink.
There you go. So look, as she's walking along, though, she's like, "He's won. I give up. Like, there's nothing I can do. Every time I
Yeah,
turn a corner."
And she gives up. I mean, she goes to Nihil. She's like, "I'm ready to sign. I'll sign whatever treaty you want." And
Which
Nihil's
is
like,
crazy because she had no idea at all whether or not he had anything to do with this at all. But I also understand.
But her hope for escape is gone.
Yes, as is, I also
and she
understand.
can't stay there forever. I know she's not a prisoner, but she's in this limbo phase, kind of like how I am, like here, just fucking
A
twiddling
prisoner.
thumbs, right?
Mhm.
And not actually, she has no mission other than sit around and wait. Like, and she can't escape now and influence the world. So now she's got to partner with somebody to try and do it.
yeah.
I get it. I don't like what's happening, especially because, man, skipping way ahead. How crazy is this? If Elaine makes it back and then the White Cloaks attack, Elaine and Morgaze are going to be fighting each other.
I don't think that's
No.
gonna happen.
Well, as soon as they realize what's happening, they might try and stop it. But once Caemlyn is fighting in defense against the White Cloaks, do you think either side is going to be able to be called off?
Oh, Matt is gonna have fun destroying White Cloaks.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
where you're
yes,
going
yes.
with this. So
It's going to be chaos, and then they're going to look across
I'll
the
take
battlefield, and Elaine and Morgaze are going to see each other and be
Mama?
like, "Fuck, what are we doing?"
Well, no, that's
This is
perfect for
crazy.
Morgaze. She's already trying to figure out how she's going to end this relationship before, just as she's beginning it. So she walks in. She's like, "All right, I give up." And he's sitting back, like thinking to himself, and he goes, "Oh, you said something? Oh, wait, what?"
Sign
And
the
the
paperwork.
treaty's already there, already written. Like
Ready
the
to go.
ink is more than dry. It's like, the paper's turning to ash already, or dust, because he's been sitting for so long waiting on it. He's like, "Here you go, sign it." She signs it. He's like, "All right, off to the libraries with that document. We're done with this." And she goes, "All right, when are we going to reclaim my throne?" And he goes, "I got other shit to do today."
Yeah, I'll put it on the list of things to do. We'll get to it.
Oh,
Which,
and then she immediately turns after all this and goes, "Perhaps do you play stones? I could use a good game of stones."
Giggity.
She's like, it's time to play the game.
Yep.
Time to play the game.
Well, if she's going to partner with him,
him.
yeah, if she's going to partner with him, that is the next step. You don't just walk away and let him be fully in control of everything. You got to start influencing. Yeah, and she seems, I think she could play the game.
Oh, she
Yeah.
says, she's great at the game. She's one of the best at the games.
Yeah.
Damn
She
it, I
does it
just lost
well.
the game.
Yeah, now you're thinking about it. Game over.
Game over. Crap.
Yeah, I'm not worried about her individually and her ability to take care of herself, but I'm certainly worried about where this is going, and if White Cloaks end up going to Caemlyn and everything I mentioned before.
I was worried about
again,
Lenny.
Right. Look, what are we
I thought we were
reading?
going to see Lenny die.
Lord of Chaos. Everybody gonna be fighting everybody by the end of this
Or
book.
Lenny, how
Yeah.
you pronounce it?
Oh,
Lenny.
Lenny.
I was more worried for Lenny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lenny hasn't lived this long because she's a chump. All right.
No.
True. She probably already has a way out. She's just being loyal to her queen. But the minute shit goes sideways, she's gonna disappear.
Yep. Yeah, I do.
I have all the faith in that.
I got
Oh, yeah.
me.
Pop up halfway across the globe,
Yeah.
chilling on a beach, drinking a
I'm-
mimosa.
I'm an army of one. Let me.
She's really Aes Sedai.
Anything from all this besides our toast and our moment of silence for our dear friend PAITR?
To be continued with PAITR.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and toast with you.
Toast
You
with
know,
me.
I'm
There you
only
go.
drinking
Cheers
water.
to PAITR.
I won't toast to that. I'll toast in his honor, but not in his memory.
I'll enjoy this spicy chicken sandwich.
I might have to owe you one. I'm saying this out of hope, not confidence.
So now we switch to Asawana's point of view.
Asanawa.
Asanawa.
I've got him on my fantasy roster also. Tight end
Yeah.
from the Denver Broncos.
Marcus. Okay. And yeah, so
He's
he's
pissed.
puzzled. Yeah, he's puzzled by Morgase's reactions to the executions. Thinks it's strange. Thought for sure that she'd react more to it. And then talks more about the conviction that they found them, I guess, doing a seance or some kind of ritual toward the Dark One. And
Dummies.
Why would
I'm
you
gonna camp out
like-
next to the White Cloaks and bust out
Right.
on a Ouija board. What the fuck you thinking?
You said exactly what was on my mind. Like, you're literally in the lion's den and you're pouring blood on yourself. Like,
Yeah. Dummies.
pretty much.
So do we?
that
So
could have
do I
waited.
feel bad for him?
The dark one, like, he has no shits given whether or not you perform this ritual. What he cares about more is can you get him this queen out of this city so he can continue to take her lands?
I don't think the Dark One even
Like-
cares about any of this.
Probably not, but his Forsaken do, and
These-
everybody assumes.
No, but these do feel like wannabe dark friends. This still does not feel like A Team. Even the uncle.
Asanawa. Wa.
Asana,
so-
Is the H silent? Or is it
Nah.
wa?
What? So even when you pronounce it correctly, put that back up, Alan. Even when you pronounce it correctly, it sounds like you don't know how to pronounce it. You're like,
Asana.
Wa?
nah.
Wa?
What? Still can't get it.
Anyway.
And, not gonna work here anymore. Hey.
Yeah, and that's I'm pretty sure in this chapter with them plotting against Morgase and more kind of Niall as well. Niall.
The stage
The
is
name
set.
reminds me of a movie I saw this weekend. Phenomenal movie.
What's
It's like 5 stars. The Woman King. Oh, great movie.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yes, phenomenal.
Someone was just telling me about it briefly, but I got to go back and watch a trailer.
It
But
was great.
I've been told I need to see it. Okay.
Yes.
I like that
Gotta
you're
see it.
co-signing because I didn't really trust this other person. But
No.
if you liked it,
Loved
I'm
it.
gonna look into it. Okay.
Okay, I have to check it out. Cool.
It's all
That's what in
about
this
the
chapter.
homie tribe.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen some a trailer for that. Yeah. That
Which tribe was it?
intense.
The homie.
The homie.
Are you serious, or are you just?
I'm dead serious. They're called
Yeah,
the
the
homie.
homie. The homie.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually were one of the like. I mean, not to get historical, like one in every 20 slaves were captured by that tribe to go to America. Like they were the tribe that fueled the American slave trade. But,
Yes.
yeah,
Until
Yeah.
they decided not to. They were.
until they decided not to. Yeah, but they were. They were.
And
Yeah.
this movie's about the tail end of it. So anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, cool. Yeah.
Summoned in haste.
Summoned in Haste, chapter 32. And we got the terangrial for the dream ring
Yeah.
thingy.
I
chapter symbol?
enjoyed all of this in the beginning of the next chapter very much
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So we started with
This
Rand's.
brought me, well, I gotta say it, these next 2 chapters kind of sucked me back into the book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many filler chapters that kind of moved really slow, and I'm like, please get to the point.
Mhm.
Bring it
And
all
then we got
together.
these nuggets, and I'm like, yes, come
Yeah.
on,
Mhm.
woo!
I feel you.
Finally,
100%.
Yeah.
we got
So we start with
Egwene.
yeah, we got Egwene. Yeah, we start
and
with
she's-
Rand. Because Rand's it's Rand's point of view. He's visiting Kyran. And palace tensions are all high, but it definitely it's him visiting Egwene as well. Um, hearing the news.
Well,
from the
yeah,
wise
we know
yeah.
that like he is visiting Kyrian, and
Mhm.
she said that it seems like one of those grand illuminator firework displays that she's never heard about, exploding all through the city, or never seen,
Mhm.
but known it's exploding all throughout the city. So she's either avoiding him outright or he's avoiding her outright. Which,
Yeah.
again, I know you guys make the comment all the time, but if they had communicated a little bit better, maybe at all to each other, could have been some easy resolutions here.
Yeah. Of course, her being around him is risky anyways with all the other Aes Sedai around. She's still trying to dodge that. So she's
Well, yeah, I know
she
we
has
have
other reasons
Shido
to
in the
lay low.
camp now. Like the Shido are here. They've sent wise ones, so they literally have people that can peek into the tent of everybody and kind of see what's going on. And
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that very much. That just because they're wise ones, they're automatically cleared to hang out. Like at what point is your enemy your enemy?
Yeah.
but like I would hope that she would have had a greater conversation with Rand about Gawain and maybe got the two of them to talk to each other a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe
I
it'll
mean,
still
that
happen.
could have resolved a lot, or at least it could have.
But then we'd have one less book. There's gonna be a whole
Yeah.
book on that.
You think?
On her and Gawain.
Or him, Gawain and Rand fighting.
Oh yeah. Well, that. I thought you were talking about Egwene and Gawain.
No, that's fan fiction. I'm sure there are many chapters out there in the fan fiction world about the two of them.
Yeah,
That's something
sure.
I have not looked up. I'm a little afraid to do so.
Don't.
I'm not.
Yeah. So Egwene also is really curious about the sea folk ships. So she decides to go check one out. She's been on one before. So
Yeah.
why
They're
not?
buddies.
Yeah. It doesn't.
She'll be
end
welcome.
up- Yeah. Sure.
Hmm.
Tell us how that works out.
It doesn't.
So I got really confused at first. So I know like first and foremost goes, she's tired of the day. Her time with Goblin goes by too fast, and the rest of the day goes by too slow. She's avoiding the Aes Sedai and especially the Shido because she doesn't want to get given chores. So she's like, all right, let me do something productive. I'll go talk to the sea folk. Maybe I'll learn something new. Goes to the guy at the river, gives him a silver penny, and it's like, all right, take me to him. She's confidently headed out. They throw down the rope ladder. She climbs up, and then this is where it gets hazy to me. Did somebody like put their hands on her eyes and then cut the ropes, or like I was a little? I need to go back and reread.
On the corner eye, she saw the knife go in front of her face. It kind of like covered her eyes
Yeah.
and then sliced the ropes.
I thought for a minute they were gonna say that it sliced through her neck.
Okay.
Like I was listening, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Slice what? Slice!" I got really like, "Oh my god, do we have our first Game of Thrones style death?"
Yeah.
We said she's so important, and now she's done.
it's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
But
they sliced
no,
the
she's
rope.
just a
They
little
sliced the rope
wet.
ladder, and
So they
"No."
throw the rope ladder down first, let her walk up it some, and then cut it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't there, right? She
I mean,
hailed and they tossed the ladder down.
I think
Yeah,
Isn't that what
Yes.
happened? Yeah.
she hailed. She
So-
called a few times. They toss it down. She goes up, and then
I mean,
she gets to the top.
I've done it before. You open the door for like, or someone opens the door, your passenger side to get in, then you move forward a little bit.
Oh
right before you step
yeah,
in, you
I
move
love doing that. I've done this Chanel a number of times. Or I'll like unlock the door, and then when she grabs it, I'll lock it again, and then I'll unlock it, then I'll lock it.
All right, but that proves my point is that they were the first ones to be assholes. They
Yeah.
started this shit. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Just want to make sure our listeners, everybody's in the same page.
Asshole's
there.
a strong word. I mean, prankster. There's a lot of other words you could use.
Where are you a thesaurus? You're different words, same thing.
She had just reached the rail and she saw a woman who clearly was able to channel. She had on blouse and blue silk and a dark sash, and she had all these gold earrings. She sounds pretty, but she has an ugly attitude.
No, she's a prankster, funny joker.
Or that.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'll take that. I like that better.
It would be funny when they finally meet if she is just like this slapstick, like everything's a joke.
Yeah.
Like a Jack Black type, just fucking around.
Takes nothing serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Egwene gets really angry, channels the one power, lifts several people up off the ship.
This is after she gets rescued. Mind you, she is near drowning
Sure.
in the
Okay.
lake, in the river.
Mhm.
She was smart. She blew bubbles out and she saw where they went. I would never have thought to go, how do I figure out up and down?
Oh, that's the first thing they teach you in lifeguarding.
Yeah.
Never did
Follow bubbles
lifeguarding.
and follow the bubbles.
Follow the bubbles.
That's smart. Like, I didn't know that. Like, my sister threw me in 12 feet and said, swim. That's how I learned to swim.
Which way's up?
I was like, where's the light? I opened my eyes. It burned a lot. I learned to open my eyes in the water that day.
Yeah.
And I fought my way to the top.
Yeah.
The only time I ever had to actually follow my bubbles were, I won't say where, but there was this establishment that had pools that obviously were closed at night, and maybe we hopped the fence and we'd go swimming at night, and then we would bring our friends and we would have some beers. And I don't recommend swimming while drunk, but we were dumb and did that. But if you are swimming and drunk and then doing crazy stuff off the diving board, you might find yourself at a 12-foot depth trying to figure out which way is up, because you get disoriented very quickly. So yeah, I utilized the bubble training then.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Sometimes you can't see either. So I mean, like it's she's lucky she can even see the bubbles. I mean, I know in a lot of
It
rivers
could be dirty in the river.
you can't see
That muddy water.
shit. I've done
river's
a lot
back
of
at
scuba
home.
diving, like, and not fun. Like, so scuba diving on reefs is really pretty and it's a lot of fun. Work scuba diving, like when you're going down to do salvage or you're going down to clean bottoms of boats, is most of scuba diving I've done, and it's usually in really murky water and it's not fun because it's just you can't see your hand like this far in front of you. You can't see your hand. Well,
Even the river at my dad's house, it's pretty muddy water. So if you go under and open your eyes, you have about a foot or 2 feet where you can see the glow of light. You still can't quite make out any images in front of you, but below 2 feet, it's pitch black because it's such muddy water. There's so much sediment in there.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So she lucked out.
Yeah.
And then she gets up on the board. The homeboy pulls her up. He's like, yeah, you gave me that silver penny. I guess I could help you a little bit more. And she gets angry.
Well, he's ready to leave. He's like, I guess we're going back.
And she's like, no, we're not done yet. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, watch. And then she unleashes. And I think it's really neat. Where is it at?
Well, and as she does it, she intentionally shows off her strength.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She hits him with multiple weaves from multiple
she
directions.
knew weather, did she? Because she divided the flows 4 ways. Not many Aes Sedai could. One flow was spirit, a shield she shoved onto the wayfinder to keep her from interfering. If she knew how. Each of the other 3 was air, woven almost delicately around each woman, binding their arms to their sides. Lifting them was not precisely difficult, but not easy either. Like, I could see in my mind, it's just like, and it's really stupid, but she's literally like doing things with her hands to like weave over these air flows.
Yeah.
And then like, and then they all like are like, and then up, and then out. And then she did the stupid thing. I wouldn't have let him go. I would have put them in the I would have held them in there for a little bit. They're sea folk, like duh, they can swim. This is not going to be any problem for. Well, I can't say that because not all sailors know how to swim, but they should. But in the past, not all sailors could swim.
Yeah, traditionally no.
Yeah,
but in my mind, I would have assumed these women could swim. I would have like made them a little bit frantic before I let them go. So she has some learning to do in the ways of torture. But
Yeah. Well, so I like that she gets him back. I think it was a fair, tit for tat. But I actually like when she let him go that they did like these perfect somersault dive 1.5. They're like, well, for here, let's make it look pretty. Shoop, 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 and then no splash as they enter the water.
Mhm.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So someone did comment that water is really scary, and I will test that. It's actually one of my deepest fears. Is
Mine
water.
too.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a very good swimmer, I'm a sailor. I've sailed across seas and oceans, and I'm terrified of water. Actually, what scares me in my life is actually taking a bath in the middle of the ocean where it's thousands and thousands of feet deep. I was terrified the entire time, especially when the shark showed up. There's a shark that showed up while we were jumping in the water. It was
It happens.
No.
it was kind of big. So yeah,
He's like, man, this ocean's big, long crossing, and there aren't a lot of fish for these sharks to eat on the big crossings. So he's like, oh, I'm so hungry. Ooh, a little snack. Oh, nice.
No. So what happened was we would lather up and then we jump in to rinse off because we don't have much water. We have to drink the fresh water, so we just jump in the water and rinse off in the ocean. And I had lathered up with soap and was about to jump in, and one of the other guys on the boat was down using the bathroom, and he didn't know we'd already jumped in, so he uses the pump out, and so he starts pumping out, and so this cloud of brown water starts to move away from the boat. So I start swimming away from the boat, and our lookout yells "shit" because there's shit coming out, and then he sees a shark coming up because once the shit comes out, the small fish come out and the sharks come out. I mean, it's like a boom, boom, boom thing, and the shark started coming up, and I was like, I said, "Yo, shark!" So I started trying to figure out how to get back around to the other side of the boat, and as I'm going around the other side of the boat, because all this commotion definitely stirred the wildlife up, there were sea snakes on the other side coming towards the boat. So it's literally shit.
Oh, they're super
shit,
friendly.
Shark, snake. Sea snakes are actually, if you know anything about sea snakes, they are actually more poisonous than anything on land.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're aggressive or just curious, but they will swim right at you.
Yeah, they don't bite apparently, from what I've been told, is it's very rare they ever bite, but they will swim right up to you. And if they do bite you, you're not going to make it. It's the fact of the matter is how far out you are in the ocean. They do have antidotes for it, but it would take hours, and you have to think like 45 minutes to get an antidote, or you're dead. Like
you'd be Dunsky.
You're dead.
So in this story, did you also get soap in your eye? Because that would make it hilarious.
I did stab him. I got $5, but that was
yes. Okay, there you go.
Kidding. I didn't stab anybody, but it's
this is why your wife is like, I can never win an argument because nothing phases him anymore.
Right. It's like once you live a certain amount in life, and
for anybody listening, that's an inside joke between me and Ian. So I apologize for using inside jokes. But like back when we were younger, whenever someone would tell like a really boring story, and everyone's like, "So what's the point of the story?" Like, and then I stabbed a guy and took $5. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's a great story."
That's a great ending. That's crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy. So yeah, that's how we end stories that make no sense. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Judge Judy. I guess we need to move on. So now it's time to go to Tel'aran'rhiod. So after all this, Egwene goes back, and Bayer allows her to go to Tel'aran'rhiod.
She's been back and forth a couple times just for a few minutes to make sure she's capable. You know, they come in, they check her temperature, they use the probe.
But she's finally able to meet all the tower, or the little tower, the Salidar Aes Sedai, at the stone. So we get to this scene.
Now, there was a point where I thought she saw that Rand was there, but clearly she did not. Or did she?
No. The person that she didn't recognize was Swan.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And Shiriam's there, and it's ignoring, kind of what the wise ones have been saying. And it's very obvious there's a lot of tension between the wise ones and these Aes Sedai. Because
they bust straight into ceremony in ritual.
Yeah, Aes Sedai, like, these bitches are late again.
Yeah.
Again. They just do not know how to tell time. We need to teach them
Least they
something.
can do is be on
And,
time.
and as they're doing
Exactly.
all this kind of ceremonial type stuff, like I just kind of cut off the wise ones and they're like, forget all that. Egwene, you're summoned to Salidar. Come at haste, all haste. Actually,
No,
can
you're
you be within a
summoned to the
day?
tower.
To the little tower, of Salidar. And they're like, yeah, you can just come here like in a day. I know there's a way you can do it through the world of dreams. I'm sure the wise ones can teach you. And they're like, yeah, that's evil. We don't
We
do
don't
that.
We don't talk about
And they're like,
travel. No.
no,
Yeah.
don't talk about travel.
Delay not your coming, Egwene. And she's like, okay, I'll
It's
figure
not for
it
you to ask
out.
Questions.
Yep.
Get your ass over here.
She's literally like, well, I think I figured it out, honestly, but I also don't want to make them mad, but don't want you to be any madder. So it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
Well, she had to know. Her intuition was already that she was gonna get found out. Like there was
right
no
away.
way. She even thought about like maybe I can make an excuse and not go this time. Blah blah blah. But she knew. I mean, how
Now
much
they
longer?
did try to cover for her. They're like, ask not why you were summoned. Ask not why. And I think also half the Aes Sedai that are there don't know that she's pretending to be Aes Sedai and for what purpose she actually went.
True.
So
Yeah.
I think they were covering two ways, trying to keep her coming back, as tight to the circle as possible.
Yeah.
What do you think about
so
this thing they're hinting to about traveling through Telegram, though? Because that's what they're talking about. They're talking about traveling through.
I mean, that's kind of like what Landfair did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I know much of how that works, but
say it. Say what you're gonna say.
no, I mean, I was ending with a butt because I
But-
like butts.
Big
Kiki
butts.
and Allah.
Yeah,
I'm with
like-
you. I
like
love
butts.
them actually. Anyway, that's probably my word. Anyway, you just threw me completely off. I started thinking about big butts.
Butts do that.
They do that like all the time. Anyway, so
Mhm.
I was going back to the thought of this being a different dimension rather than just a dream world. And so rather than entering a fictitious space of the mind, you're actually just crossing through dimensions. So, dimensions kind of just like touch up against each other and maybe they fold like layers. And so it makes it easier to just kind of go.
Careful with that sound effect.
You just talked about butts. Anyway.
Clapping.
Clapping cheeks over here. All right.
Maybe she can make her way like through the folds and then come out on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a relation between this and how the ways were made? Is there a relation between like, what was it when they traveled with the stone portal stuff?
Well, yeah, I
Is there
mean, we
some
know in
similarity
Tel
there?
Riyadh when you're in there, you just have to think about the place that you want to go to, and you're there.
Yeah.
So then it's like collapsing the dimension in on itself and opening up a portal from one to the next, or opening up a doorway from one to the next.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, so like the way Rand described it, it's more like
But Rand's using a
you're
different thing. He's
bending
talking about
space and then you
burrowing.
punch a hole through it. So you
Yeah.
bend space, punch a hole through it. The Teleron Riyadh is more you enter it in your real live body and then you use the physics and abilities in Teleron Riyadh to just imagine yourself in a different place and then you come back out. Which I guess is more like teleporting, but not in the physical world. So yeah, it's interesting.
So have you read Hyperion?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah.
No.
That's
The
a great
next
book.
chapter is really gonna give us some really great insight
It does.
on how this travel.
Before that, we
Not
still have
this
to get to
one,
the whole.
the one
The
after
whole.
that.
Yeah, we still have to get to the whole swan thing too. So,
Well, yeah. So we have a young woman who's there, and she has a great mastery of Tel Riyadh, and then she also like
produces this awesome map for
Produces-
Egwene. Like, this is where you
Yeah.
need to go. Bink.
It's a
Which-
3D map. Did you catch that? She's
And
like,
it even impresses the wise ones. Even the wise ones are like, very
Mm.
nice. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. I like
we
that
might
trick.
steal her from the Aes Sedai later. She
Yeah.
might become
Mhm.
one of us. I think that would be awesome. I mean, she doesn't really have her Aes Sedai power anymore, so why not make her a wise one?
Oh, Swan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Hey.
that won't
I
happen.
don't think
But
that'll
I
happen.
do see her learning a little bit more from them.
Mhm.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now that we're here, so Egwene did not recognize her at first. She's like, and then there's this other woman that I've seen in Teleround Red before, but I don't know who it is. And then someone addresses her as Swan after the map thing, and she's like, "Wait, Swan? What?"
Is there another girl
And-
named Swan?
And doesn't recognize her. Now,
Yeah, that was Shiriam. Shiriam's like, "Good job, Swan." Now I thought that was hilarious. That interaction where Shiriam is like giving Swan praise for making the map. I was like, that's like how
Yeah,
a teacher
like a little-
talks to an apprentice.
a little pat on the head.
Yeah, a
You
little
did
puppy
it.
dog.
But okay, but here's my problem. This is what stood out to me. Egwene has met Swan while she was still able to channel,
Mhm.
right? Before she was stilled. Swan now has her channeling back, but Egwene did not recognize her. And we already
'Cause her
knew
body
we
did
already
not change.
right, but that still begs the question, like, what's different and why? And I mean, we have hints of it. We know, like, healing her in that sense didn't exactly work the way Nynaeve was able to do with Logain, but I mean, not all of it's back. So what is she now? Is it like, okay, or what about something even crazier? So she used the same method or attempted the same method she used on Logain. What if Swan's powers that she has now are more, instead of, the female version and the male version of channeling, they're somehow intertwined, or maybe she got a little of both. Oh, okay, yeah, that's, I don't know. It just, it's hard. Like, we don't have enough information, but we know there's significant differences in her, even in her appearance.
True. But I mean, you've always, going back to your theory, said that this is more like turning back or speeding up time.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And so maybe this is what she would have looked like had she never become an Aes Sedai and taken on those qualities. And maybe in healing her and reconnecting the circle, a piece was detached or burned off and now it's been singed back together. Well, you don't always have all of what you had to begin with when you singe things back together.
Yeah. Yeah. But then why was Logain made so perfectly whole and strong?
Do we really
I mean-
know that it was made perfectly whole and strong, or maybe he was just that
No.
powerful?
I mean, I'm anticipating we'll find some limitations with him, but we know he comes out very strong.
Or again, like you said before, maybe we're missing one key ingredient to the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that just stood out to me that she didn't recognize her.
Yeah. So in this point of view, I guess Egwene promises to go to Salidar as soon as she can, however she can get there. And before she gets out of the dream, she realizes she must face her Tau.
Oh yeah, because she's like already hit.
So
She's admitted that she has kind of played with the idea of traveling in the dream, which means she's probably already done some exploring in the dream that she shouldn't have done. So she's like, I got some questions I need to answer. Let me go ahead and handle my business. So
yeah.
I will say, I'm going to say it now before Ian says it. She's my character for the day.
Oh, yeah. How can she not be? I was jumping forward a little bit where, after her toe incident where she stubs her toe and the wise ones help bandage it up. when they were like, I knew it, you were Aiel, da 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 da. Like, I'm sitting there smiling and like, I know she just got her ass beat, but I'm also very excited for her. Like, this is it's like the moment in Final Fantasy where you level up and everybody starts dancing and then they get bigger and they mature and everything. And I'm like, emotional, like experience points, bing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just skipped all the way to the end, guys. Going backwards.
Sorry.
Rand
So
is a
let's
freaking
get there.
creeper.
Oh, yeah. No, this is great, but this is perfect.
Yeah.
Since people don't communicate directly, like, this is great that Rand was there and got all of this information. If we relied on them talking to each other to exchange this information, that would be 6 more books before it all came out.
True.
So it was good that Rand decided to go there. I don't know if he got Tavir in there.
This is a
the
Tavir
pattern
moment.
kind of, because even he was like, I don't know why I decided to go at that time. I just, whatever. I did.
You got to think about this is definitely a Taviran moment, because right when Andor is about to be attacked by the White Cloaks at some point here soon, but as soon as the Andorian queen signs over essentially her life to the White Cloaks, now we have a way for Rand to find Elaine and put her in place.
Yeah.
And like I said, mom's already trying to find a way out. And if her daughter is sitting on the throne, I don't have to worry about this truce. All I gotta do is get away from you. And if I can get close enough, my daughter will make sure that I get out of here.
Yeah. So
that's where I'm at.
Again, I'm still looking at the title of the book, Lord of Chaos. I still feel like it's not going to end so simply.
I don't think we're going to hear anything about the White Cloaks marching on Andor in this book.
Possibly.
I don't know, because this much of the book is going to be dedicated to Perrin.
I think they're Chris. At this point, I'm convinced that everybody's been fucking with us. Every time we've had a guest house. Every time we've had a guest house, Alan probably talked to him ahead of time, and they were like, "Hey, I know Perrin's not in this book, but can you tell Chris and Ian that he's coming in like a couple of chapters?"
I'm right there with you, actually.
Just fuck with him.
At this point, I think like the last chapter, I'm like, and Perrin breathed.
Perrin,
the last paragraph.
Right. Who's
the last paragraph?
Who's Perrin? Perrin.
You know that block that's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's kind of there.
It's literally gonna be the last sentence. And Perrin.
Apparently, he's taking his sweet time getting to Camelin. He's just strolling along, taking naps.
The girls made it to Camelin before he did.
So even chat's not there. Who are you talking about?
Who?
We're gonna get 2 full Perrin books.
Okay.
Just Perrin.
Perrin's story ended. He got Fail, lived happily ever after, and he's just shacking up the rest of these books.
I would
making
a couple of little cubs running around.
Yeah, that's what he's doing now.
Yeah, going to hang out at the in-laws.
No, the in-laws are hanging out with Rand. We actually
just like Rand's creeping in the shadows. Loyal's just there creeping with the notebook, writing every single detail on what's going on.
Yeah.
Loyal's about to get snatched up in about 5 or 6 chapters here. Mama's on her way.
Oh yeah, Mama is on her way.
We can't forget that.
Mama's already there.
Coming.
Rand dropped her off.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did.
Mm-hmm. It's about to go down. So Rand does a little creeping. Rand does some creeping.
He's just a blacksmith. He's not an important part of the story.
Yeah. Thank you.
The fighting words for Chris.
That's what I figured. Sure.
There we go. Thank you.
Sure.
Anyway, Rand's creeping. He's actually just there to like look at Calendar to make sure his work hasn't been touched.
My precious.
Exactly.
I wish I had the gif of like the guy behind the tree, like looking behind the tree, like rub his hands.
Yeah.
Like
and he just so happens to be there when this is going down. And it's like, they drew a map for me. Like, could this get any better? Shit, it's 3D. Oh my god. And X marks the spot. Like,
yeah.
Bingo. He just smiling in the background. I could hear Luce there and like, finally these witches do something right. Now kill them all.
Kill them all. Kill them all.
So what I hear is, if you want to get specific information that you actually need from women, you can't do it by having a conversation with them, because they won't give it to you. But if you eavesdrop on their conversations with each other, you might be able to glean some important information. That's, man,
Hey.
Jordan, it's a little bit sexist, man. Come on. Women are good communicators too.
Better communicators.
Alan's trying to get
In some
brownie
aspects.
points.
In some aspects. I don't know. I'm a horrible communicator. I'm like, I just do my own thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to tell you I was doing that. I'm sorry. Communication.
Yeah.
I send sex messages.
I told you in my head. Did I not say that out loud?
Yeah.
I'm very bad about that. I will
very,
have
very bad.
conversations with people in my head and assume that we had the conversation, but I never had it in the real world with you.
For
We
my
already
own
talked about
sanity,
this.
I send a text message.
Yeah,
Now, sometimes
there
I
you
don't hit send. Like when my
Yeah,
one
there you
cousin
go.
asked me a question about the wedding, and then a week later, I'm like, "Hey, are you gonna RSVP?" He's like, "Hey, are you gonna answer my text?" Oh,
Boom.
No.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, your wedding present has been shipped and on the way to me to give to you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know
told
you
to
sent
give
me a really cool idea. I didn't actually expect you to get that, but if you did, I have a space for it that is perfect.
I got it.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It's the most
It's gonna
expensive
go
book I've ever bought.
over there. You see that tall brown thing?
No, it's
that
just
would be
fuzzed
my-
out, but yeah. It's,
No, but you can see the outline of
Yeah.
all of that. There's fantasy books.
Yep.
Nice.
So what I got Chris from Dragon Steel, I got him the leather bound Mistborn signed by Brandon Sanderson. So it's a signed
Nice.
leather bound
Yes.
copy of the first Fallen Empire.
Us got us.
Final Empire. Final Empire. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
Most
really trying to get
expensive
Chanel to
book
read,
ever
and now she's gonna be reading.
Well, don't read that one.
No,
That one's to go on display. And like,
no,
like,
that
you don't want
that
to
will
destroy
be
that
displayed.
one. That's an
No.
expensive book to destroy.
I might get married again just to get some cool presents. This sounds awesome.
You got to give good ideas too.
Yeah.
So go check out my registry.
Exactly.
It's on
Well,
Facebook.
I mean, I had to buy it too, just because I was like, I'm kind of jealous. I wanted to get one for myself too, but I couldn't bring myself to buy two of them. But I also heard that he's not signing more of those anymore. So once they run out, he might go back to sign them later, but he's too busy right now to sign older books because he's writing so much crap. Anyway, so
Ian,
yeah,
you have to get on Mistborn.
oh, he's reading.
I'm
it.
on chapter 29.
I know you're enjoying it.
I am loving it. All right, so we're already on a big tangent. I told Alan earlier, this is great. So like, there's the similarities that he has to like Jordan and even Martin.
Spoiler warning for Mistborn.
Yeah, I won't go in deep into detail, but like there are some similarities, but only a little bit and in really fantastic ways. But then he has his own vibe, his own style of writing.
Yes.
I love his pacing. He sprinkles a little bit of action all along the way. And it's not that he's not world building and not describing. He just does it kind of in between.
Correct.
And he doesn't go too deep inside everybody's head, but he definitely gets in, the perspective where you're at. He gets in their head a little bit. So you're always understanding what's motivating them, like their previous past influences and how it's affecting decisions now. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's awesome.
I honestly wouldn't mind going back and rereading all of Mistborn already.
Really?
Already. Yes. Not lying to you. I enjoyed them that much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have enjoyed every Sanderson thing that I have listened to so far that much that I would
that's
go
awesome.
back and listen to all of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely enjoying it.
All right. Well, let's move on to chapter 33 because we got to finish this last chapter.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So
She takes the beating like a man, like a woman.
Courage to
An
strengthen.
Iron Man, female.
Chapter 33. Courage. And we got the Aiel Spears and Buckler as our chapter symbol. Because one of the first things we do is Egwene's getting ready to leave. And she's making some arrangements. She sends a message to Gawain saying that, I gotta leave. And then Buyer and
she hadn't worn in a while. This is really interesting. She really stepped away from the character of being like from the two river folk, I should say. Like
she's been living as an Aiel.
Yeah.
Right.
She's been living that life.
That's what I like most about Egwene
she commits 100% whether she realizes it or not.
Yeah.
And she really gets into character, and then she's there. If you think about all of the people, being born a two-year-old folk, okay, whatever. But then she's traveling with parents. She meets the Tuathwan, the traveling folk, and then she like integrates with them really well. She's really a chameleon. So
she
like
gets curious, learns about and imitates the culture like very quickly.
Yes. So then like she's in there, she's engaging, she's all about it, and then she gets yanked out, and now she's an Aes Sedai. And she's becoming the best at becoming an Aes Sedai, and she's in there and she's learning it, and then boom, she's yanked out again and she's thrown in the waste. And a little bit of complaining, yes, not much.
Yeah, she just rolls with it.
She rolls with the punches so well.
Makes the best of it. Learns,
she's gonna make
keeps learning.
The best Amerlin seat.
Well, I don't know if we were going to talk about this, but I still go back to the conversation they had. I think it was with Swan, and they were talking about like who they needed to get as the next Amerlin, and it needs to be somebody powerful that they can kind of influence, control, or whatever. And I was back and forth between, you know, would it be Nynaeve? Would it be Egwene? Well, Nynaeve still can't control herself, but Egwene would kind of be perfect.
Well, remember when there was that conversation about is the girl ready? And we kept thinking it was Nynaeve.
It might be Egwene.
And then we ventured to say it was Elaine, but we were like, why would they put her in charge of 2 seats?
Yeah. So Egwene's gonna get in front of Shiriam, and she's gonna be like, Shiriam, I'm so sorry I pretended to be an Aes Sedai. And Shiriam's gonna be like, listen, girl, we don't give a fuck about that. We got a job for you.
You are like, wait, what? You've been promoted.
I thought that's why you called me here. She'd be like, nope, we got other plans.
I took that ass whoop.
Yep. And this is something Swan would support, because, you know, Swan would probably still feel like she has some big influence with Egwene with their relationship thus far. And
true.
Yeah. I'd
drop knowledge. Have we gotten into the chapter yet? Okay, so
yeah. So she's getting ready to leave. Yeah. The wise ones come in, and she realizes that, like you said, that they've been treating her now a little differently. That she's been summoned. You know, she's no longer wise one people. She's back to being Aes Sedai, but it's really weighing on Egwene heavy about the lie that she told them. So
lies.
Before that, we have to realize
the lies.
Soralia and Bear were like, you stop being a pupil the moment your sisters summon you. You must go to them as Aes Sedai.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And I love that moment.
Oh, I love that they came in, and they probably know all, if not most, of what Egwene's about to confess. But they didn't come in and try and rubber nose in it.
Nope.
They didn't. They might have some like little bit disapproving looks, but they all showed up to give Egwene the opportunity to make it right. And they didn't tell her she had to. They didn't tell her what to do. They didn't try to make her feel bad. In fact, they tried to encourage her, be like, no, girl, you got to do this. You've been called. This is the path you got to go down.
I love Soralia's response. Angry. We're not angry. I thought you knew us better. It was true. She did not sound angry yet. Censure still painted all over her face. Like they all know something's going on. They're all, I mean, first off, they're disappointed by the fact that here they've taught all these lessons and she's still willing to attempt to travel. So that was where my mind initially went. Was they're upset with her about doing something that they distinctly stated that she shouldn't do. And then she all but admitted to training without their permission before she actually admits to training without their permission. So I think 2 out of the 3 big lies, if you want to call it that, they kind of already knew, and they're like, we're gonna let those go.
And the big one was the Aes Sedai one, that she lied about being Aes Sedai. And she has toe, you know, and needs to help with her toe. And she asked them.
And they didn't tell her she has toe. She confessed. She was like, I have toe, and then asked for help in meeting that toe.
And she even says Salidar has to wait. I have to fill my toe first. And then
got to do it. I don't even hate all of this that happens. Like, I was very proud of her at this moment, very excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate that in that process she got the living shit beat out of her.
And for our listeners that have kids, I think you appreciate this more because I mean, I know as when I was a kid, my parents would do these kind of things, and I never really got it until I have kids. But when a kid comes and confesses something, even if they know they're wrong, like I'm just proud of them for doing that. Like I'm like, thank you. Like
Right.
rather than trying to
Well,
make
and you
something
know,
up. Like I mean,
you
like,
also
I
know how
appreciate
hard and
it. Like
stressful that is. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
big moment.
yeah, and I appreciate it, especially as a parent. Like with my
I've
kid.
got nephews, and I'm like, you could have played that better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will do that too sometimes.
you could take that lie to the grave. You know, that is an option.
Yeah, I'd have never known.
That is an option.
There are some things that my oldest nephew, I swear, he tells on himself all the time. Never once have I ever had to do more than look at the boy, and he admits to everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
The younger one, though.
Yeah. My daughter's the exact opposite. She is the one that will never admit to anything. You can watch her do it. Like, I mean,
You can have it on videotape, play the
and
video
she'll
back
just
to
like,
her.
she's like, Shaggy, it wasn't me.
She's like, that girl in the video.
Eating
She's
cookies
wearing
on the
pink.
couch.
Do
It
I look
wasn't
like
me.
I'm wearing pink? I'm wearing blue. It
Feeding
clearly
Legos
wasn't
to the
me.
dog.
Like,
It wasn't
I
me.
changed your clothes because you got the cookies all over you, but it wasn't me. I'm wearing blue. That
Yeah.
person's wearing pink.
Yeah. Shady.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like Asher will be at school, like, and she'll be at home, and I'll walk into the room, and like, it's a disaster. It looks like a bomb blew up. Like, she went to all the drawers, pulled all the clothes, threw them everywhere. I'm like, and she's like, Asher did it. I'm like, Asher's not here. Asher,
Yeah.
Asher's my son.
Nice try.
She's
My
like,
brother-
just
my
don't
brother
remember
did it.
that in 10 years when I'm old enough and actually needed that excuse.
Yeah. That was like I've told y'all before that time Riley wrote
Mhm.
Ryder's name on the wall in crayon. And we were like, and so I pulled Riley and I'm like, Riley, you know what? You can't be writing on the wall. She's like, I didn't do that. Ryder did it. See, it's his name. And I'm like, Riley, he doesn't even know how to write yet. He was like 2, just turned 3 or something. I was like, it's clearly you. Like, no, it's his name. It's totally him.
The art setup. He's getting it though. Like, he's like, all right, I'm figuring this one out.
Yeah.
A couple more years and I'll be there. Before we even get to her getting her punishment, we get to Matt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we switched to Matt, and Matt's playing Snakes and Foxes, which I love that game. It's
With his little
with Oliver.
With his
little
son.
Oliver. Yeah,
His
that's
son.
I
I
don't
bet you
know how to
Oliver's a
describe it.
dark friend.
Ooh. No, Oliver is
That hurt. Oh, hold on a second.
what's her name's boyfriend?
Brigitte?
Brigitte. Yeah, I think Oliver is Brigitte's boyfriend that got reincarnated before her.
Help me though. I thought that maybe I don't remember it correctly. I thought he always came back as like a baby.
Yeah, but time passes differently when you're in and out. So even if it had
And
only
Brigitte got
been a
ripped out.
day,
They got ripped out.
even if it was only a day that she was without him, by the time she came out, he could have already been older because he was usually much older than her.
But he was there like not too long while the others were in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but time passes differently.
So you're saying like he could have been born back in time because he
No.
interacted with them.
So he came out and was born, and in the outside world, a couple years passed by, and Oliver got older. And
But get what I'm saying.
It might
Like,
have only been a couple weeks before she finally
he
got
was
ripped out.
outright
So for her, it was,
talking to who was it that he was talking to? Egwene, not Egwene.
who? Oliver?
Whatever.
Oliver
his
didn't
name
show
is.
up until after homie got reincarnated.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying homie was talking to the others in Tala Anriyad. He kept warning.
Gato Kane showed up.
Yeah,
earlier
multiple
books.
times.
But he had
Right.
disappeared by the time Brigitte got ripped out. So
Yeah, but he was there like days before. And I'm saying days loosely.
Okay.
So
I
that means
yeah.
he would have had to have been born back in time. And I agree with what you're saying. It would make sense for this boy to be that man.
Chris, there is no time.
Yeah.
True. But he would have had to have been born back in time to now be
The
you
age he
know,
is.
the
I
age
hear what
he
you're saying.
is,
Yeah. I got you.
which I guess is
Well,
possible. We don't know yet.
hey, I'm gonna roll with that until proven otherwise.
Either that or Matt's got the worst of luck. His girlfriend was a dark friend. Now his surrogate child is a dark friend. Like Matt rolls the dice and every now and then loses.
Yeah.
Everybody he
But
loves is a dark friend.
but when he's playing this board game with Oliver, he doesn't roll the dice because that wouldn't be fair. How cute is that?
It is cute.
He doesn't
I
want his luck to take over the game when he's playing with little Oliver.
I
So
I
sweet.
like that. It is sweet. And plus, you're not supposed to win the game. That's the point of the game, to teach you some humility.
Yeah, something like that.
I would have cheated.
Time is just a made up construct anyway. I mean, the whole reason why we have the time it is actually because the Babylonians used a base 60 system versus the Romans used a base 10 system. So
Mhm.
all of our time is based on 60 seconds because that's what the Babylonians said a minute.
That's
so they
why
based
back in England they jumped a few years ahead to catch up to us.
Yeah. So I mean, literally, it goes back to ancient times and using a different mathematic system than us, a base 60 system. So it's all construct. Time's not real. Is basically what I'm trying to get at.
There's so many concepts like that when you think about it, literally someone at some point, some old dude was just like, well, this is the way we're gonna do things. And then for thousands of years, people just accept it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
From this point forward, everyone will send me chocolate by the third Thursday of the month.
I bet you if you go back far enough, flicking
Are you-
people
are
off
you-
like
are you making
this
like a-
was like, hey, how
I'm
you doing?
mandating it.
Are you
Yeah.
making like a one of those boards or whatever, trying to make like your reality true and like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
speak it into existence.
Speaking into existence from this point forward on the third Thursday, by the third Thursday of every month, everyone will send me chocolate.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Good luck. Because I ain't sending you chocolate.
I'll send you some recycled, gently used chocolate.
So what do you think about snakes and foxes?
Well, I mean,
This
I don't know
game.
why he hasn't put together 1 and 1 and realized he's met the snakes and he's met the foxes, and you lose that game every time.
Matt starts thinking about how it seems familiar, and he doesn't like it at all. Like it's like,
Yeah, like bro, you met literally the real snakes and foxes that the game was probably based off of.
yeah, and they lose the game because you can't win the game unless you cheat. That's you learn that as a kid is that the game's unbeatable.
I feel like that's a hint.
Well, I
And,
mean, technically he did
that's
cheat.
a
He had
nugget that's
Rand
gonna come
help
back.
him. He had Rand help him off the tree.
What do you think about the phrase though that they use to start each game? Courage to strengthen, fire to blind, music to dazzle, iron to bind, and that's what you say before every single game.
It tells you how to beat him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to come into play. It's not
Okay.
insignificant.
I mean, do you think we go through the doors again?
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you think
There-
that we
there-
have somebody
there's-
still in a door right now?
There's no way beings like that are that powerful and influential are just going to be one and done in a world like
That's what she
this.
said.
Can't be. That'd be like saying PAITR's dead. No fucking way.
Peter's gone this time. My chicken sandwich is riding on it.
There you go.
No pickles.
No
So,
pickles.
Yeah.
I hate pickles anyway, so thanks.
Fine,
I
I'll
just
keep the
didn't even
pickles.
know that.
So
Extra pickles.
despite losing the game and Oliver wanted to play again, it's time for Oliver's bed.
Yeah.
Oliver's
Somebody
bed.
shows
So,
up.
Ollie, it's
Yeah.
getting late, buddy. Go brush your teeth
Yeah.
and get ready for bed.
Yeah.
Put on some PJs.
Well, I mean, he was
Yeah.
gonna play another game with him at first, and the Lord Dragon comes into town. So
Is
the
that the
Rams arrived,
dragon reborn? Yeah, kid, it is.
We're kind of good friends. Like you could say it's
Hercules.
serious. You can say it's serious.
Yeah.
like this is when I had like that Hercules moment where you had the two little boys that were, attacked by the Hydra, and they turn out to be the dark minions.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
now that you said it, it makes more sense for him to be the other guy. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I think for Oliver and him, it's going to turn into one of those never meet your heroes moments. It's like, oh my gosh, the Dragon Reborn. And then like by the end of this book, he's going to see Rand like just dicing up people with the power. And he's going to be like, oh shit, that's freaky.
Oh no!
Yeah.
If he's the what's the guy's name? Somebody in chat help me out.
David.
If he is David, then he's gonna be all about the battle.
Do you want the guy that
That's
shows
true.
up or Guido Kane?
No, I'm talking about
Brigitte's
whoever we
dude.
think.
Oh, that's Guido Kane.
Guido.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
he's
gonna
gotta
be all
ease
about
into
the
it, though.
battle.
Which always to me sound like some like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter character. Guido Kane, finish him.
Okay.
He rides up on a horse and tramples him.
Yeah.
As a 6-year-old boy. How old is this kid? Have we gotten an age?
I don't know.
I bounced
He's a
between
young-
6 and 10.
He's a young lad. Here.
I was giving him about 8 years old.
Trusted companion.
Well, because
I'm using this a lot tonight.
yeah. Although Matt having kind of like his younger sisters and everything, he could probably handle a really young kid. I'm sure he's got the skills.
Yeah.
But I picture about 8.
Yep. Rand shows up and he's not alone. He's got Envianda in tow. And they go and they address Matt.
Just as a young boy.
Matt's like, I didn't expect you. What's going on? Have we decided to change plans? It's a little too late for that. I'm already moving. I already got ideas. Like we have this thing happening. And Rand's like, yeah.
Nope. Frago.
Mhm.
Frago.
Nope.
Change of
That
plans.
plan that you had, it
Yeah.
So you're gonna I need you to do something totally different, and you're gonna take everybody with you,
Mhm.
and you're gonna take Avienda.
Yeah.
And then Avia chimes in. She's like, I'm gonna go because I want to go. I'm not gonna go because you said I'm gonna go. I wanted to go before you said it. Just so you know.
for sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love that reaction. She's like, don't sit here and act like you're mandating that I go. It's almost a challenge. Like, say it again and watch what happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's
Like,
the
I know
one
I
where you
should-
say it again.
I know I should go, but since you said it, now I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
because you said it.
Yeah, pretty much go gather Elaine's the first priority, but then gather anybody else that wants to go as well, and then get Egwene too because she's going down there too. So get everybody.
And,
And Avienda
when
knows
you-
she's going because Avienda has toe. But she can't
Yep.
tell Rand that.
Mhm.
Yep. Well, it's between her and Elaine.
Mhm.
She doesn't have toe to Rand, but
Yes, she does.
lying about the pregnancy. We haven't gotten into lies of omission. With the Aiel, it seems to be more lies of commission.
But she admitted to having Rand to toe to Rand.
Yeah, she did say she had Tedoran.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She just doesn't.
Yeah.
She said in order to get rid of it, she has to
Well-
like kill somebody or another.
Kill him.
Yeah, like pinky toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think
I
it's
mean-
for the toe to Elaine. Just
Yeah. She had
But
to
just
kill
toe to
Rand.
Rand because I think Rand saved her. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It's
there's so much
confusing.
toe.
Trying to figure out toe gives me a headache sometimes.
There's
But
a lot
hey,
of
so
toes.
Rand in this quick little, he's hitting it at so many angles. He also talks about how
She enjoys it.
he's talking about like, okay, I'm gonna drop you outside so that they could sense you're coming, and like, you don't surprise these Aes Sedai. Also, these Aes Sedai are kind of supposed to be like backing
Rand
me.
clearly does not fill the void if he can hit it at that many angles.
Oh,
That's what
Lordy.
she said.
But it's bigger on the inside.
Exactly. He's not filling
Yeah.
the void. He's just poking a hole right through it.
But so he also gives Matt quick directions with dealing with the Aes Sedai. Let him know that hey, if you stand with me, I'll protect you. I got your back.
Mhm.
Which is
He's
great.
like,
It's
they're
not,
supposed to not be enemies. They're supposed to be on my side. So let's put this all to a test. Matt, you're it. It's like
but
they're
he
not
doesn't.
enemies.
But he doesn't offer them a partnership. He says, I got to look. I should open up and look at the exact words, but it was more like, I'll protect you. You'll be under my protection. So like under my umbrella sort of thing. So it's a quick one-liner, but if it gets to
He says, if you think they can be trusted, offer your
hey,
protection
hey.
and mine. They're supposed to be on my side, and they might be glad of even my protection by now. So he's of the mindset that they're getting desperate and they're in need. I think part of that stems from how quickly and their request was for Elaine to come back.
Or Egwene.
Egwene, excuse me. I think he sensed desperation, not necessarily the coming together of a plan.
I don't know if it's desperation, or at least by watching that, knowing that Egwene's going back, something is afoot at the Circle K, and
Yes.
some big moves are about to be made, and he knows he needs to start dabbling in that arena.
At
Those
the
decisions,
Circle K down the street from me, there's a lot going on.
yeah.
There's
But it's
always
not
something
the
going on in
good-
Circle K.
Not
It's
the
not
good
good.
stuff.
It's not
Yeah.
good.
Hey, did you see there's a new Clerks out?
No.
They've been doing showings in random cities all over the place. They just had one in Richmond, but I wasn't able to make it.
Huh.
For those of you that are listening to that from the South, Circle K is a gas station that's pretty
Prominent. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Is it
they're
just in
always
the
a little
South?
sketchy.
they're little.
I mean, it's North Carolina.
lot of
down as
sketchy?
far as I know.
A lot of
Yeah.
sketchy.
I mean, the Circle K is in Virginia and North Carolina. They had a Circle K on J. Clyde, 17.
Oh, did
Yeah.
Huh?
They
Oh,
did.
that's right.
Oh,
They
they
did.
did. I remember that.
They did, but then Harris Teeter bought
Then
it.
became
and turned it into
yeah.
the Harris Teeter gas
Yep.
station. But it still has the same clientele, so it's like the most ghetto.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do remember that.
So bad. Anyway, so continue on. Down the good old Circle K.
But hitting it from all the angles, offering his protection, not offering a partnership or anything like that.
I'm glad he's
And then also, this is going to be great. Hey, pass this letter on to Tom, the letter from
Yes.
Moraine, which I still believe is her fulfilling her promise and revealing who it was that went after his nephew.
it's
which
a
could be two
confession of
things.
love.
Well, no, it could be two things, though.
Save me.
It could be really bad no matter what Aes Sedai or group of Aes Sedai she rats on and says, all right, this is the person or persons that
Get the unicorn. Come get me.
gentled your nephew. That they're automatically enemies of Tom. Or I know this is a stretch, but we've kind of mentioned, all right, what if like he didn't actually kill himself? What if perchance the nephew's still alive somehow? I mean, the way the story
What
was
if he
told, I
makes
doubt
it
it.
to
But
hang out with Rand?
who? Oh, well, yeah. No, I mean, there's all that, but like that could open up like a whole new can of worms. I think it is going to be that he actually did die after he killed himself, but a revelation of who gentled him. And then that's going to be like enemy of Tom's. But then this is going to be some Aes Sedai that is important to, what Rand or the little tower needs to get done. So, okay, again, yes. But wait, name of the book, Lord of Chaos. What I see unfolding here is it's more like a Venn diagram of a. But it's
I feel like she would be
circles.
smarter though. If she felt like Rand would need this person, she'd say, after you take care of the things you need to take care of, then give.
No, she made a promise. Tom fulfilled his part, so she fulfilled hers. So, but in every category, we're finding like overlapping allegiances. Like we have somebody that's now partnered with the White Cloaks that we want to say would be on Rand's side because of Elaine, if somehow they could just work that out. And then, in the Little Tower and the White Tower, you still have influences of Forsaken, Dark Friends, Black Aja, whatever. Don't know who to trust. And then you're going to end up even within a group of Aes Sedai that we trust. Maybe it was the former Amlin herself. Maybe it was Swan that, well, I mean, I doubt it. She wasn't a red, but gentled his nephew or whatever. But you're going to have like all these like groups of, all right, in this situation, this person's a good person that we want to be able to do well because we need him for this purpose. But they're also the enemy of this guy who's actually our friend that we need to use here. And it's going to be, I don't know, just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one good solid team. And there will be a lord of this chaos.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm guessing
So-
is Rafa.
Back to the story. I guess this is part of the
That
story.
is the story.
It is a story, but back to where we are in the chapter. So I guess
Land's
where
like-
are we?
or
Where are
Rand-
we?
Rand is like,
So
get a lane.
Matt gave the plan. Matt thinks the plan's mad.
But Rand's like, I don't care. Get a lane. Get her home.
Yeah,
Get her on the throne.
Get her. Yeah.
And
It's
Egwene
Take
can be
everybody.
there.
Oh,
Help
and
Egwene out because she might be
hands.
screwed.
But this might be important. Hands Matt a letter. Says, make sure you get this to Tom. Tom's probably there.
See, this is why I told you, Chris, when we start going on our rants, Alan stops listening. I just talked about this for 5 minutes, Alan.
I did stop listening.
We're not going over it again.
All right.
The letter
well,
to Tom is not important.
it's
Oh, it's
been
not important?
covered.
Okay. Continue
No,
on
not
that.
Chris
important at
chimed
all.
in a little bit on that one. We covered it.
Okay. So all this is covered then?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that this is who took out your nephew? That's what the letter is.
Oh, that's what the letter is?
Then Tom's gonna go berserker.
Interesting. Okay. Going through my notes. Are you back to Egwene?
Yes.
We're getting there.
Anything else from all those?
Matt suggested just taking a small force, and then Rand was like, no, you got to take everybody. So now Matt is doing all of this with the whole band. So now he's got an army at his back, and then we know it could run into White Cloaks. It could be threatening to the Aes Sedai. It could be all sorts of crazy.
Okay. Ready to move on?
You good? You good, Chris?
Oh my God. First and foremost, the next door neighbors to us, I hate apartment living. Now you're going to get my rant. I hate apartment living. The people next to us have a problem with putting their trash outside and then leaving it, and sometimes for days. And I have
Ew.
snitched at this point multiple times because I'm fucking over it. I said something to them, they do nothing. I know they give you a $50 fee every time that somebody sends a picture of your stuff. So flat out, I'm sending a picture every time it comes up. But now we've been getting the big ass roaches, the water bugs, palmetto bugs, whatever you want to call them. They're now starting to come to my house. This motherfucker was crawling on the wall and he jumped like from the wall. And this is like a 3-foot leap from the wall, from beside me. He wasn't even like up above where he could get some. No, he was beside me and decides to jump at me.
He just
I'm
wanted
like,
a hug.
no. I'm like, no.
He wanted a hug.
As I turn, I catch a cramp in my damn hammy. And I watch this motherfucker like land beside me and just start scurrying. I'm like, nope, you're not gonna leave me. I have nothing near me. So of course, I need to wash my hands when we're done because I got him. But in the grossest of ways.
Chris just killed a roach on live stream. That's awesome.
The a palmetto bug. This is why we're getting the cat, because this cat will eat all the bugs. That's my goal.
I thought that too. My cat's lazy, so I'll get out. Yeah.
Chanel's sister's cat. I watched second rant tangent of the day that has nothing to do. I watched this cat find a spider, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, excuse me, a cricket.
Yeah.
And it's like catches the cricket and then lets it go. And then catches the cricket and pulls it back in and lets it go. And then catches the cricket and breaks a leg. And then watches it walk along the carpet for an hour. Because we're watching a movie and it's watching the bug. And I'm like, you know what? This shit's cruel, but I'm not going to stop it. I just want to see what's going to happen. Later, we find the bug like laid out dead. Didn't eat the bug, just wanted to watch it kill. I'm like, huh. They are little demons. Anyway, so back to Egwene.
Back to
another cat.
Facing the wise ones.
Was she though? It sounds like her ass was up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she wasn't face. Yeah. Face down.
And she was taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She assumed the position.
By a thin but very wide belt.
Thanks. I appreciated that. I lost my book.
Yeah.
Yes, they said the belt was thin, but as wide as her hand. So we don't know how wide her hand is. She could have tiny hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. I was looking at my hand thinking, man, that's massive. Your hand, Chris. Oof. Egwene's hand, probably, yeah. No, that's not too bad. I don't know what she's complaining about.
Nah, I've been
Yeah.
beat with worse.
Yeah.
But it
So,
sounds like everybody's taking a turn. 12 lashes to the rear end.
They're lighting her up.
Mhm.
Lighting her
Bare
up.
bottom.
mm-hmm.
And then she's like at her breaking point and they kind of stop. And she was like, is it done? This is where, oh man, I got a little emotional in this section. You could tell they're proud of her. Like she put herself through this. They say something to the effect like, well, only you can decide, when your toe's been met. That's not something I can.
That's how toe
Yeah.
works.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, oh, spank
Give
me
it to
again.
me, Daddy.
Spank me again. And then they all go one at a time. They whoever had the belt at the time just tosses it on the ground and it's like, this girl has no toe towards me. And everybody else goes through and says it too. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh man, this is wonderful.
And this is why she gets my vote for favorite character.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
And I don't think they let her off lightly. I think it was also the understanding or recognizing that Egwene understood that what she did was so horrible in their eyes. Like the lying was that bad. And that even she felt like, no, even that's not enough. I need more.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just the beating itself. It was all of them recognizing, but Egwene recognizing that it wasn't enough, to meet the betrayal,
Yeah.
the offense,
Mhm.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
just
I think.
gets back down and grabs a hold of her ankles and says, give it to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the wise ones, and they're like, no, child, you're done here. But you can work your toe out with Rourke later. And she was like, shit, that's right.
And Avienda.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I owe more. Oh my gosh.
That was
toe
probably
don't stop.
my favorite part was the realization that she's
don't
like,
stop here.
it's a good thing there's only ladies here. And then it's like, Ruark will get you later. Like she thought it and then they said it. And it's like, oh. She said, oh yeah, and Avienda. And who else? There are others. She's
Yeah.
like, well, maybe by then I'll be hard enough not to have to worry about it.
Yep.
Nah, Ruark's gonna give it to her real good.
Oh man.
Mhm.
I bet you
Like-
Ruark's going to be like, we ain't got no toe. I already
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very, very emotional scene, and Egwene takes it extremely well.
Yeah. And they were good job, Alan. And this again, this is where they were like, see, I told you she is Aiel,
Yeah.
which is
We
I don't know,
know
I
that
like
they
it.
get down. They do
was-
the
it's-
dancing of the spears.
It was like a rites of passage moment, for her.
Agree, because they were like, she understands Tove as well as anybody else. She's definitely one of us. But again, that goes back to the comment I was making earlier. She slips in and out. So that she could blend in wherever she wants.
Yeah.
So after this, the wise ones chase everyone away, so Egwene can prepare for her trip. They say goodbyes and they had a little heart warming moment where Nynaeve asks if she can still train with PAITR, and she's like, "Of course, I can still teach you."
She's like, of course I can, because by the time you get there, they'll probably not watch you anymore. You're all used up. So
Yeah, you could always come back
up.
and work to be a wise one. But
I
the
asked
one
somebody
wise
to be the
one,
mayor and everything.
Yeah,
the one
found a guy
wise
for-
one where she had the agreement that she wouldn't go into Tel'aran'rhiod on her own, she's no longer going to train her.
Mhm. Yeah.
So there's at least the one that's like, we had a deal, you broke it. I'm not going to train you anymore. But the others are going to help her out still.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then again, if she manages to work out how to travel through Tel'aran'rhiod, and once they figure out exactly how much she knows, she may find out that she doesn't have too much more to learn from them.
True.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I feel like there are some like other things that happen in dreams, like foretellings and things that they could help her with, but not with this.
Not to go back to Mistborn, but you have the people that can do all the things, and then you have some people that can only do one thing. And taking the time to study with those that specialize in one thing is very advantageous.
Agreed.
So just because she gets to a point where she knows a little bit of everything, or might even know more than, any one wise one, that doesn't mean it's not worthwhile to continue to train in certain aspects.
Agreed.
If you find one that is like, well, I can't do that much, but I'm really good at this. Well, it's good to spend time with that person and learn it,
All right.
So.
Agreed.
Yeah. So before we move on, we should go back and talk about this Tom's letter thing.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, did we forget that? Alan wakes up from his nap. Is that the music they play at the Oscars when you give too long of a speech? Is somebody telling us the show must go on?
It's time to go. And that's how we wrap up this chapter, isn't it? Egwene's getting ready to.
That's it.
Yeah, Salidar, and that's how we
again. These chapters really brought the book back to life. Like I was just like, I want to read more.
To go down. Yes,
that's what we need. We need Kevin Hart meme.
Yeah, at least once or twice a book, we'll be able to drop the "It's about to go down."
Yes, like the last 5 chapters of the book.
Yep.
So
yeah, definitely. So, favorite characters.
Go ahead, Chris. Say it one more time, Chris.
Yeah, say it one more time, Chris, for us.
Eggy.
Eggy.
Even though it was brief, I have to go with Matt. After everything he's gone through, Matt still very much has a heart. The way he's taking care of Oliver. I hope nothing horrible happens to Oliver, because that's really gonna fuck Matt up. But just kind of watching the little.
Now, how messed up would it be if Oliver is what's his name again? Guy, whoever.
Brigitte's dude.
Brigitte's guy. Yes, I know. Dana's.
I don't think it'll mess it up too much.
No, but
Matt's still going to be very protective of him. But Brigitte, if she finds out, is going to want to.
That's what I'm saying. Like Brigitte's like a whole lot older.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It will be.
But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Matt. He's doing good things and still loyal to Rand. Like there's so much that Rand's asked him to do that he's like, I don't want to do that. But he still does it.
Is that because he wants to, or because of Taviran?
I didn't feel this was much of a Taviran pull this time. It's not like he stumbled into it. There was, it was asked, and he put up his objections, and Rand was like, "No, this is what I need to happen." He's like, "Fine, all right."
Kano, that's his name.
Yeah. And Matt apparently gets Aiel humor, and he's funny to Aiel women.
Yeah,
does he get the humor, or does he just accidentally say it?
I think he was accidentally funny because he got Avienda to die laughing.
Yeah. My favorite character for this chapter is PAITR. Fought the good fight to the end.
Oh,
cheers!
Yeah. Agreed.
Look, just in case he is dead, I will toast in his memory because I do love the guy. Yeah. To PAITR.
Toast to PAITR.
So next time we'll be doing 3 chapters again. And these are some doozies.
Oh, Dana just brought up a good point.
What's that?
Brigitte is in Salidar, where Matt is taking Oliver. So we'll know soon. We'll know soon.
All right, y'all got that GIF ready? It's about to go down.
We need that.
We'll work on that for next week. So next week we'll be covering 3 chapters again. So the 3 chapters are Journey to Salidar. Wonder what that's about. In the Hall of the Sitters. And the Armerlin is raised.
Oh,
Egwene! Yes, we called it. Yes.
That's the next 3
Why
chapters.
didn't I bet a stake on that one?
Yes.
This is great.
be fun
Do
next
we have
week.
guest hosts for that chapter?
We do not.
Because that'll tell us if it's really important.
Our next guests are not till October 18th. So right before you get married, the week before you get married.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and those are
Maybe
our,
I'll see if Chanel wants to come on. I'm gonna ask her if these are good chapters.
yeah. You can get Chanel next week. That'll be fun. Our
nice.
next scheduled ones are people have been saying in the chat, drink puppets. We're actually going to have puppets on because it's the return of the Way the Leaf.
Yes.
Be with us in a
Oh,
few
man.
October 18th.
This will be a
so.
long
Love those
night.
guys. That's gonna be fun.
Well, no, we have a hard cutoff because they start their show on Tuesday nights too at 10:30. So even though we're 10 minutes
We
later
should
than what
just
they would be,
blend them in. Okay.
yeah, we'll just go from one show to the next. We'll just go on to their show.
Exactly.
Yep.
We
Well,
could.
hopefully I'm off orders and can drink again. Not that I need to be drinking to be around those guys, but let me tell you, when you get a couple drinks in you and start chatting with those dudes, it gets hilarious really fast.
They're
It
fun.
does. I don't even remember the last night because I think I had dark and stormies that night too. I probably fell asleep. I ride the wave every time I drink.
JordanCon or last time they were on our podcast.
On our podcast.
Last time we
And
Well,
I don't
think had
remember.
Jordan's-
Probably
I think Jordan's
Jordan
service too at JordanCon.
I think I had, yeah, like I think every time that they've been near us, we've had dark and stormies.
yeah.
Well, I got kits in the other room, so
I guess I'll have to get some more.
So, how we can be found is thewoodreads.com. That's our website. We have links to everything. You can find our social media links. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, obviously YouTube now, any podcast platform. Find it all there. You can write reviews on our website. You can also find links to things to support us, like our merchandise. We have lots of t-shirts, frosty mugs, shot glasses, even baby onesies. If you're expecting or have someone you know that's expecting, you want to send a nice Wheel of Time themed onesie, we sell baby stuff.
I hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, exactly. Also, support us on Patreon. It's a great way to support us. It pays for a lot of things like microphones, so we can have cool, fancy microphones, and I can have two mics at once.
And you can even do it like Lazarus. We won't be upset. You can leave and then come back.
Alan
and
likes
then leave
two
and
at
then come
once.
back. And then leave and then come back.
Yeah, I don't use this one. Obviously, it's not plugged in. But
what's that one for?
Oh, well, I can't fit it in my mouth. Ian
That's
holds
what
the
she
record. Ian can actually fit these microphones in his mouth. I cannot.
Yeah.
So maybe one day I'll. It depends on really. So I only use this mic if my wife's watching TV in the other room.
Members only, fans only.
So give you a little behind the scenes. This right
Only
here
fans.
is a condenser mic. A condenser mic picks up everything. So it's actually a better mic. It's a more expensive mic. But if my wife's watching TV in the other room, you can hear it. This is dynamic mic. Same thing Ian and Chris have, which means it can only hear me from about that far away.
It means I gotta get right upon it and I can't lay back.
I just heard Alan say he got him the good stuff, and Chris and you and I got the knockoff mics. That's what I heard.
I can get you these ones. Do you guys want these ones? You want this
No,
one?
you don't need to hear what else is going on in the barracks. We need to wait till I'm home.
Yeah, if you got me one of those, you
I
hear
can get you these
like
ones.
all
that's
of
fine.
Chanel's TV shows.
This one was actually not bought with Patreon money. This was actually when I first started the podcast, I put it on a Christmas wish list on Amazon, and my mother-in-law bought me this one, even though I'd already got mics. And I was like, sweet,
that's
I got
awesome.
the dream
That's
mic.
awesome.
So that was actually a present. So
Cool.
but yeah, Patreon's bought
Where
these-
does she
these
where
mics.
does she request these Christmas lists be sent to? We're getting to that point.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I have
her
an
mother-
ongoing Amazon wish list. So I just put an Amazon so it can be sent out to everyone. So
Nice. Very smart.
makes it
Right
easy
now,
for
the only
birthdays.
thing I have on mine is freedom. I just
Yeah.
I just want to be let go. Just
I need to hear that when we end. I need to hear this court martial thing because I wasn't privy to that conversation.
oh.
So on that note, that's all I got for this week, guys. So
Until next time.
Peace.
okay, bye.
Bye.